Morning everybody, how are y'all doing today? I'm doing great because today we have some good old-fashioned PC port salt to take a look at. And of course, it's coming from none other than JayTechTV himself. Now, I know I already talked about Jay like 2 videos ago, and trust me, I tried to avoid making this video, but I can't really find any videos or streams that are mad about this PC port other than Jay's stream. And I'm sure I could go to Twitter, but I'd like to avoid that at all costs, let's be real. And trust me when I say this is gonna be bad. Because, you know, there's a difference between having a bad take and being straight up wrong. Jay often has bad takes, but I genuinely don't think I've ever seen so much wrong in a single stream before. So yeah, I know I give the disclaimer quite often, but please brace yourselves. Trust me when I say you think you're ready for this, but you're really not. Also, I know at least one person is gonna have this question, so I'm just gonna answer it now. If you notice in the gameplay in the background that the demons aren't dropping health or armor, it's because I was playing this level with the famine cheat so I could get the achievement. But yeah, anyway, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this.
I'm gonna have some Digital Foundry Horizon Forbidden West analysis going on in the background. We're gonna talk about this. I've been against games going to PC since before a lot of you guys knew who the fuck I was.
Okay, so keep in mind that he's gonna have the Digital Foundry analysis in the background. That'll be important later. But also, Jay, I don't know why you feel the need to constantly repeat that you're against the games going to PC. Like, I think everybody knows this. You say it anytime a PC port comes out. And guess what? No matter how much you voice your disapproval, as long as the games are making money, Sony's gonna keep doing it. Which is funny because you claim the ports are making no money despite the fact that Sony keeps putting them out and you have no proof of the lack of money being made. But anyway, let's continue.
I've been talking about PC port begging trolls and the damage they were going to do to our community for multiple years. My name is JayTechTV, and a lot of other people here on the panel, they've been against it too. The thing is, there's been too many people in the PlayStation community and PlayStation Nation that were quiet, allowing me to quote-unquote look like a crazy person, saying that this was going to hurt PlayStation years ago.
Ah yes, truly impeccable logic. Everybody else felt the same as me, but they stayed quiet, therefore I looked quote-unquote crazy. Nah, dude, hear me out. You're just in the minority, and you are in fact kind of crazy. I mean, a certain incident that happened with you several years ago proves that you're crazy, but whatever, we're not going to talk about that. I just love the logic. Oh, I look crazy because everybody else stayed quiet on this. You want to know why everybody else stayed quiet on this? It's because nobody else cared. You and a few other fanboys are the only ones who were upset about this, and now you're trying to deny the fact that you looked crazy because you cared so much about it. Dude, just accept you're in the minority on this opinion. Like, the amount of denial here is actually crazy. Crazy? I was crazy. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna say it. But I love that he says, oh, I said years ago this was gonna hurt PlayStation. How have PC ports hurt PlayStation? And please give me an actual reason. Surely Jay would never use the recent layoffs at PlayStation to console war and prove that PC ports are a bad thing, right? Let's go ahead and find out.
And didn't we have a whole bunch of layoffs? This is after 13 games were already released on PC. Those games being released on PC was going to make revenue to give individual developers that make these games bonuses. Wasn't those bonuses going to keep you employed?
People in your chat would type, oh yeah, we make money. He was good. He got the thing.
There is so much wrong with what you just said, it's actually not even funny. First of all, wow, look at that. He's using the dev layoffs to console war. Very mature of you. Second of all, I love the logic. Ah yes, PC ports happened in the past. The most recent PC port prior to the layoffs was over 6 months before. Therefore, PC ports are the cause of the layoffs. It couldn't be the $10 billion in stock value loss. It couldn't be that maybe on PlayStation the games aren't doing as well as they need to. Let's just blame PC ports for any layoffs at all. I mean, by this logic, let's go back even further. You know what? The dozens of games Sony has put out over the decades, those are the causes of the layoffs. The founding of Sony is what caused the layoffs. You know what? Sony should have never been founded as a company, because that is obviously the direct cause of these devs getting fired. Like, you see how dumb this is? And then thirdly, what is this talk about bonuses? First of all, bonuses don't keep you employed. You get a bonus if you are employed and if the company is doing well, but getting a bonus does not cause you to still be employed. Second of all, obviously the money made off of PC ports is not going to go directly to the devs. Obviously, yes, the devs will get paid, but that's in the form of their salary. It's not like, oh, you know, Nix has made a port and the port made 2 million, so that 2 million goes straight to Insomniac or something like that. No, most of the money gets pocketed by Sony. And again, using this logic, couldn't we say, oh, well, PlayStation games must be selling absolutely terribly if they're laying off all these people? No, of course we won't say that because it has to be the fault of PC gamers. Jay, you have to understand, people are saying that PC ports are going to make Sony extra money, which they do. Nobody said they were going to save anybody's job. That's something that you made up. And now you're trying to use this made up argument as a gotcha. Well, guess what? It doesn't work, and now you look even crazier.
Yeah, well, not enough, so we have to lay off people.
That's what I'm saying. So if you have to lay off people, that means you didn't make money. You were losing money somewhere. And they don't want to admit they're losing money on PC, even with all this piracy going on.
Wait, let me get this straight. Is Jay actually saying that Sony is so petty that instead of admit they're losing money on PC ports and stop making them, they're gonna just keep making them for the hell of it and continue to lose money and lay people off? Like, Jay, genuine question, how dumb are you? I mean, evidently very, considering in another stream that I covered of yours, you said that you thought Sony was putting games on PC just to make people happy. But come on, dude, there's gotta be a brain somewhere in there. Maybe if we listen to his head with a stethoscope, we can find it. I don't know.
One of the major reasons why you have to get Helldivers is because it's online only. It's always online. It's $40. It's by an independent studio, so PC fans feel duty bound to support the game. And the fact that it's a fucking awesome game. No, I'm serious about that last part. PC fans love supporting indie devs.
They don't feel duty bound to anyone.
Yes, they do. They love supporting indie games. Indie devs, bro.
So let me get this straight. Helldivers 2 is an exception because we like supporting indie games and it's awesome. Something that's funny that I just want to point out, by him specifying that Helldivers is awesome, it almost implies that he doesn't think any of the other Sony games are awesome, which is kind of hilarious to me, but whatever, putting that aside. I mean, as a PC gamer, I do like indie games, but I don't support a game just because it's indie. I support good indie games though, just like I support any good game. It just so happens that a lot of AAA games are complete trash nowadays, and indies and AA games are where it's at. So I feel like that's a bit of confusion that needs to be cleared up. PC gamers don't support indies just because they're indies. We support indies because it just so happens that indies are some of the only good games coming out now. Also, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know Arrowhead is independent, but that doesn't make Helldivers an indie game. I'm pretty sure it's classed as AA because of the budget, but please correct me if I'm wrong.
They do. Bro, they told me much. Like, I think I have like 16 interviews and debates on my channel in a playlist. A lot of them do not support AAA games. They do not like buying games day one. They do not believe in pre-ordering games. But when it comes to indies, what happens? Uncompetitive. Oh, they'll support the early access. They'll support the developer with microtransactions. If the developer has always online, they'll support that dev as long as they're indie.
Okay, first of all, I don't know of any big indie games that have been a massive hit recently that have had microtransactions. I mean, Vampire Survivors has had some DLCs, but I don't think those really count. And I know Lethal Company and Palworld don't have microtransactions, so yeah. I mean, if anybody can name me a game that has some, please let me know. And also, this whole thing about, oh, not supporting AAA gaming, not buying games day one, not pre-ordering, that's not just a PC thing, that's a console thing as well. People are so fed up with trash releases for games, whether it be optimization or the game is just not what it was supposed to be, to the point where people, no matter what platform you play on, are not pre-ordering games anymore. I mean, hell, even though the Ghost of Tsushima port is being done by Nixxes, I still am holding off on pre-ordering for now. I might at some point, but I honestly don't know if I will. The only game I have pre-ordered in the last year plus isn't even a game, it's a DLC, and it's the Elden Ring DLC. Also, if an indie game does have similar issues to AAA games, at least it's more justifiable in the case of an indie game because, you know, it's indie. Fewer people are working on it, they have a lower budget. I mean, Lethal Company is a great example. If that was a AAA game, it would probably be really bad. But it's made by a single Roblox developer and it costs $10. We are willing to be a bit more forgiving to that guy than to the AAA company with billions of dollars and hundreds of developers.
Palworld, Helldivers, they were games as a service. Yeah. But there were two other games as a service that everybody said, fuck. Suicide Squad, Skull and Bones.
Yeah, we said screw those games because they were terrible. Helldivers 2 is actually really good. Live service is fine. The problem is companies use it as an excuse to launch games incomplete. And then they complete it as the years go on and they're like, oh, well, that's the live service. And again, if an indie game has those same issues, it's far more justifiable. Again, fewer people working on it. They have less money. People can look past the issues and incompleteness of indie games far easier than AAA.
If you think about the variety and the amount of games that are currently on PC, right, versus the handful of games you can name that were very successful, one thing you'll come into contact with is the pricing. It being early access, it being indie. PUBG, $30. Big hit on PC. PUBG. Right? Power World, $30. Indie. Helldivers, $40. Indie.
Indeed.
Valheim, I think that was $30 or $20. Also indie. Big hit.
Right.
This is like the most blatant example of cherry picking I've ever seen. Like, yeah, I guess if you ignore all the AAA games that have seen massive success on PC that are $60 or $70, then your point is made. But the second you stop being ignorant, you know, the point falls apart. I mean, look at games like Cyberpunk and Elden Ring, for example. Both AAA, both $60. Both of those games sold the majority of their copies on PC. And both of those are in the top 10 for most concurrent players of all time on Steam. And guess what? They're both single player and can be played offline. At least I know Elden Ring can. I'm not sure about Cyberpunk. And then are we really going to ignore a little game called Baldur's Gate 3? You know, AAA, $60, sold the most copies on PC. One of the highest concurrent player counts of all time on PC. Like, yeah, indie games are great, but let's not pretend that PC gamers never support AAA games. Hell, based on a lot of numbers, it looks like PC gamers actually support AAA games more than console gamers do. At least the third-party ones. But no, we're just a bunch of pirates, am I right?
You get what I'm saying?
There might be, look, there might be another way of looking at this, which is it's not whether it's indie or AAA, it's the price.
Wrong. The game that made the highest revenue on Steam last year was Baldur's Gate 3. That was $60. Starfield was also in the top 10. That was $70. Congratulations, you are wrong. Price has nothing to do with it. It's just about how much hype a game has and how good the game actually is.
Simple.
Oh, they
Wait a second. Is there another distinction, right? When you get something like Cyberpunk through Steam, you can refund it within 2 hours. But when you buy something like Horizon, you know, Forbidden West or something, you can't, because you've got to say, please, Sony, can I have my money back?
Yeah, you have a point there.
So is that a big factor?
Oh my god, you cannot be this stupid. I am experiencing so much brain rot right now, Melania might actually be impressed. Be honest, guys, how many Skibbity toilet videos have you been watching? There's no possible way you can be this dumb. Every game on Steam has to abide by the 2-hour refund policy. It doesn't matter who is putting it on there. Whether it's PlayStation, Xbox, Valve themselves, Larian, Activision, anybody. Doesn't matter who puts their game on Steam, everybody has to abide by the 2-hour refund policy. And Steam are the ones who make the refunds, not Sony or the company who put the game there. No matter which game it is, if you play for less than 2 hours or have the game for less than 14 days, you will get a refund for it. How do you not understand this? Do you really think that Steam has the policy, but then Sony can just like go around it and be like, nah guys, we're just not going to give you a refund? Don't you think nobody would be getting refunds at that point if companies could just ignore it? These guys know so little about PC gaming, it's actually astounding. If I bought Forbidden West, played it for an hour, and then asked for a refund, I would get it. Because even though Sony has a non-existent refund policy on PlayStation, when they put games on Steam, they still have to abide by the Steam refund policy. Now, if Sony made their own launcher and were selling their games there, then you probably wouldn't be able to get a refund. But that's just not the case. God, I remember when we first heard this crap on stream, we lost our minds. Yes, that was a shameless plug. You should come watch our streams every Friday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Except for this coming Friday, because I'm on Easter break. But besides that, they're a lot of fun. Trust me, you don't want to miss them.
Forget about the console. On the PC, it's hard to refund your game on the PlayStation. on the PlayStation.
It's hard to refund your game on PlayStation. It's not on PC. You can refund your game on PC.
When a PlayStation game goes to PC, it's different from when, like
when it launches over here.
It's on there because you can refund it within 2 hours because it's on Steam, but it's not going to be refundable within 2 hours.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but.
Really, Jay? You understand what he's saying? I mean, that makes one of us. I couldn't comprehend a single word of that. Let me just repeat exactly what I heard. On the PC, it's hard to refund the game on the PlayStation. I know the accent was bad. Shut up. You get the point. That sentence didn't even make sense. Like, this guy was just saying how, even on Steam, you have to hope that Sony will give you a refund, which is why PC gamers aren't buying single-player Sony games. But now we're saying that it's easy to get a refund on PC and it's not on PlayStation. What is happening? Like I said, we watched this stream live on YouTube. I can fully say with complete confidence I am even more confused watching it a second time. I mean, Jay said he could understand him. I think I actually need to make myself dumber to be able to understand this. Are there any non-painful ways to make yourself dumber? I specify that because I'm not going to keep watching these streams to make myself dumber because these are painful. Maybe I should drop out of college or something. I don't know, man.
What's
right
the
about that, aren't I? I'm not. Like,
yeah, you are right. Yeah, their refund policy is good, but also flawed because you can demo a game and then fucking say it's dog shit. Yeah.
Steam's refund policy is way better than
yeah, and PC fans often take advantage of that.
Oh dear God, what a flawed system. You mean that I can buy a game, try it out, and if I don't like it, get my money back? What a massive flaw. They're not taking advantage of their consumers enough. That's way too pro-consumer of them. Are you listening to yourself right now, Jay? How is a refund system flawed if you can buy a game, play it for a little bit, decide if you like it, and then return it? Wouldn't that be the purpose of a refund system? To refund a game that doesn't work or that you don't like, and then at the end of the clip you say, oh, PC gamers often take advantage of it. Well, here's my question for you, Jay. If PC gamers pirate everything, then how do we take advantage of the refund system? If we're not buying the games, how can we refund? Oh my God. I'm gonna lose it. I am actually gonna lose my mind watching this. It's absolutely hilarious how you managed to contradict yourself this hard. Somehow, I guess all of us on PC are getting refunds for our pirated games. We're just that talented, I suppose.
Hey bro, I'm not seeing much of a difference between the PC and PlayStation on Horizon. I've been looking at this shit for a couple minutes now, and I'm not seeing much of a difference at all.
Well, I mean, yeah, you probably wouldn't see a difference if you didn't pay attention to the clips where they showed the faster loading times on PC, despite the power of the FFD on the PS5. And then on top of that, they showed a bunch of close-ups, which I don't really care about, but you definitely love your close-ups. We see you zoom in on things constantly, but of course, when they zoom in on something and show that the PC version has better graphics than the PlayStation version, then you all of a sudden don't notice or you don't care.
You don't want to pay for anything.
Bro, wait up. So they waited 2 years to play this shit on PC. There's apps. You know what? Hey, bro, we got a lot of shit to talk about. Now, what happens when the PS5 Pro comes out? That's all I'm. Think about this. Hear me out. If you can barely tell the fucking difference with a normal PS5, what happens when the PS5 Pro comes out?
What's gonna happen when the PS5 Pro comes out? Well, people like you will buy it, and that's pretty much it. Because if you think any PC gamer is afraid of the PS5 Pro, you're delusional. And you're even more delusional if you think the PS5 Pro is gonna be that massive of an upgrade. Did you learn nothing from the PS4 Pro? And plus, do you really think the game is gonna look that much better? Like, I'm gonna pull a Ben Shapiro here for a second, but let's say hypothetically, the PS5 Pro is way more powerful than the current PS5. You just said that there's barely a difference between the PS5 and a PC PC running the game at max settings. So do you really think the game is gonna look any different at all, even if the PS5 Pro is somehow a massive upgrade? No, of course not. I guarantee the game is going to run almost identically to the PS5 version. And here's the thing, visually the PS5 and PC versions might look similar, but you're ignoring the main benefit to the PC version, and that's that we can get over 60 FPS. Now I know there's like VRR and stuff on the PS5, but you're still gonna get a much higher frame rate on PC than you are on the PS5. But of course, graphics are everything to these guys.
I think PC fans need to upgrade their PCs now. Get the 6090 now.
Wait, there's no 6090 thing.
Get it!
The 4090.
Get the fucking 6090.
Crazy, stupid idiot.
Bro, they gonna need one. They gonna need one. He running this shit on a 4070, bro. And PlayStation, bro.
So let me get this straight. We're gonna need 6090s to run PlayStation's upcoming games. Do I have that right? So you're basically saying the PS5 Pro is going to be as powerful as a 6090. I'm just at a loss for words at this point. Also, no, if you just use your eyes, you can clearly see that that guy is not running the game on a 4070, that's on a 3070. However, I do have a 4070 actually, so no, I will not be upgrading my PC. Honestly, I'll have this card for a few more years, and then when the 6090 does come out, I'll probably pick that one up. Sounds like too good of an opportunity to pass up, to be honest.
Yep.
Either way, you lose. You're not winning on PC either way, whether you have your launcher or you giving 30% to Steam.
Not if you put parasite protection and not having them making them log into PlayStation.
Now that's the question. What piracy protection you're talking about? Because they're so used to Denvu.
Nope, that's it. I'm done. Yep, I'm done. I can't do this! Did bro actually just say Denvu? We've already established these guys know nothing about PC gaming, but dear God almighty. You know what? I'm ending the video. Forget it. Forget it. When I was on stream and we got to this point, I just immediately clicked off the tab and went to somebody else, and I'm just gonna end the video right here. I can't. Denvu. Freaking Denvu. I feel like Homer Simpson right now.
We're putting you on a nuclear sub.
Nuclear. It's pronounced nuclear.
So yeah, I guess with all that being said, that's gonna do it for this video. Please know I'm not just ending for the sake of a meme or anything like that. Like, there's actually not much else to talk about from what I've seen. I think we've hit all the bases, from the PS5 Pro being better than a 6090, to Denvu, to PC gamers pirating everything and that being the cause of Sony layoffs. I mean, we've covered it all at this point. And if you stuck with me to the end here, I really do appreciate it. Be sure to like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will catch you all next time.